Hello, and we are back looking at Google Tag Manager. And the first thing that I wanted to go over with you is some things to keep in mind about the scroll function, okay? First of all, when we've got this set up to scroll depth and to go by percentage down here. So you'll see in the trigger, you've got options for percentage or pixels. So when would you want to use percentage and when would you want to use pixels, and why would it matter? So the thing to keep in mind about using percentages, which and is something I uh, use, is the uh, if you load this on all pages, which is fine, just keep in mind that some of your data may get a little messy, because if you think about it here, uh, one moment, let me just pull this up. If you're on a short page, if you're on a short web page like this one, as you can see, there's not a lot of depth here. So, I mean, with one tiny scroll, I've already gone well over, I've hit 50% of the page, and it's not nearly as much if I were to scroll down a longer page, right? So the percentage does tell me a lot, but if I wanted to keep my data clean, I could either, as you can see, there's a lot more scrolling to get to 50% of the page and something that it just means a different level of engagement, right? Also, just like on a load, again, on a load on a short page, it could very well uh, trigger that it's gone 50 or 75%, without actually really having engaged. So there's a couple of ways that we can deal with this. So, like I said, we could either have this fire at pixels, so only if they go so many pixels down the page, or whatever, and or we could trigger this for just some pages and not all pages. So that's just something to think about whenever you're using your scroll. And over here, the other thing you can do is, if you I guess I could just show you real quick. Okay, so let me tell you, this is going to mess up your bounce rate if scrolls are loading on really short pages like that. So it's going to, since I'm hitting this as an interaction event right now, this is going to return that this user was totally engaged in the website when they may have just loaded a page and left right away. So we don't really want that. So what we would also do is just set this to true. So non-interaction hit means that that this was not this was not an interaction just because they triggered this particular tag, this event. So I'm going to save that. Show you real quick what I was talking about. All right, so if we go down to behavior, events, overview. Okay, so see, we've been getting all these scroll events, and what that will eventually do, what that will do is it will count all these as as true interactions. So anyway, yeah, if you want to clean up your data, you definitely want to turn that to off, or you want to set it to pixels if you're trying to measure a particular thing. So let's go back to Google Tag Manager. And real quick, let's just add a scroll event to GA4. So what I'm actually going to do first, I'll make sure that this is turned off. the one we want. All right. And, okay, so last time I believe we already took care of this. So yes, we turned scrolls off, and we did that because, like I said last time, scroll events, these are just capturing each time a visitor gets to the bottom of a page, whereas we wanted to know more than that, so we stuck that in into Tag Manager to let Tag Manager manage it. So even though Google Analytics 4 could take care of that for us, Tag Manager can just do it better. And when I say better, I mean on a more granular kind of level. You have more control over it. So let's go ahead and add that real quick, just to go through the process. Okay, so excuse me. Okay, so okay, so let's go ahead and test that real quick here. And you should be able to see this shortly. So I am scrolling down a page, which you can't see because I have it open in another tab. And there you can see the GA4 event scroll. Okay, so there's 10. That's telling us that they're firing. So, all right, so that is firing. Let's go take a look at GA4. All right. And there are some scrolls. Now I'm actually not. Let's confirm that that is not. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was not to confirm that that was not something from earlier. So we've got a scroll 90 there. Tell you what, scroll that's reporting it the way that we're reporting it, scroll dash 90. So even though 90 was what it was recording earlier, um, I can still, let me see. I'm opening a different page to see if it'll report in real time. Go about halfway down that page. Okay, and let's see if this will. Now, real time doesn't mean quite literally real time in many circumstances, so we may not get it right away. But I am satisfied that I see scroll dash 90. I would just see if it's showing anywhere. Okay, so there's the regular scroll. And again, this just hasn't had time to. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, like I said, hoping this just pops in here any minute. You know what though? That other scroll I did was not on a preview page. All right, but anyway, that's why it's not going to show up yet. I need to actually go ahead and save this stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. So everything looks good, and we're going to go ahead and submit that. Scroll to GA4. Okay, so let's just do a couple more things real quick. So now we're going to tell you what, let's add a timer real quick. So first, we're going to add that trigger, or here, I'll just show you the same way we've been doing things. So I'm going to add this one to universal analytics, which is, really not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to say engagement. Let's see their interest is. I'm going to say they're interested and I'm going to need to stuff before I'm ready to. First, we got to add the trigger for the timer, which is not much to it. It's right in here. So okay, so right here it says milliseconds. So I'm going to leave milliseconds. 3,000 seconds is 3 milliseconds. So I'm going to actually do the limit is how many times you do this timer. So if I put 1, it'll do 3 seconds. If I put 3, it'll do 9 seconds. If I put 5, it'll put 15 seconds with 300 milliseconds in there. So that should make sense. I am not going to do click classes for this. Let's say when the page URL, I'm just going to say page URL contains slash, so that should hit it on everything. This trigger fires on all timers or some timers. So you can, there's you can go a lot deeper into this. Let's see here. Timer 3x3. I'm just naming that something that we can recognize very easily. So, a Google Analytics variable. Non-interaction hit. I would say these people have interacted. I would guard this as a um, win, as they are actually interacting with the site at that point. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now if they spend 9 seconds on the site, every 3 seconds we'll get that. We'll see that they've done that. Okay. Now, and we could time those down. Now, next, we were talking about video. Now, if say I wanted to see how far along somebody's coming to this video, I had mentioned in the previous video that uh, YouTube stuff is practically is largely built in to Tag Manager, and that is true. It's also built into Google Analytics 4. But again, I just feel that Tag Manager is going to be able to do a better job for me. I'm going to have more control over the little tweaks and stuff. So we're going to go in here real quick. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take out the, going to go into the data stream and take out their video engagement. So captures by default video events will be automatically fired by videos embedded YouTube videos embedded on your site. Okay, but anyway, like I said, I'll have more control and things won't be stepping over one another if I'm using Google Tag Manager solely, one or the other. But again, if you have to choose one or the other, which I would strongly suggest, Google Tag Manager is got more tools for us to record things. So now we're going to go to Google Tag Manager and we're going to fix this up. Now, we've already added our variables in a previous video. So I've already got that there. I should have our YouTube stuff down here, video stuff. Okay, so now triggers. What we need to do is new YouTube video, start, complete, progress. All right, so same deal here. We got percentages here again, and we got time thresholds. So you just decide, which is best for you. Keep in mind that a longer or shorter video is going to give you different types of readings. So I would go, it really just depends on what you want to measure. In this example, let's just go ahead and do 10, 25, 50, 75. 90. The reason I don't go to 0 and 100 is the extremes just don't seem to quite work right. YouTube. All right, so now we're going to tags, and we're going to put this into, again, Google Analytics. I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay. So category, video, action, watch. Then let's see here. Video percent. And then not the duration, current time. There you go. And now I'll be able to get the current time of the video and the percent watched. And again, I would definitely consider this an interaction event. So I'm going to leave that to false, which I know is strange. It's kind of a double negative, but okay. GA 2% watched. Let's just call this. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and test this real quick. And let's see what we do here. Open it in this window. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open this up on the video window. So I'm about to start this video, and you should see some tags come in. So let's see what happens. Okay, hit mute. Okay. It's fired one time so far. Our timers have fired. Okay, now it's fired 2 times. So where are we at? Okay, let's see values. right, YouTube. So as you can see, the label right here, Action Watch, YouTube. We watch 10% time at 24 seconds at 10%. And that video is still playing in another window. So we just saw another come up right there. So it is working. There you go. Okay, so I'm actually going to get out of this real quick. All right, I think that will bring us back to our workspace. There we are. Cancel that, cancel that. And we're going to go ahead, since we already have this stuff in here. Here's our changes. So I'm glancing over these to make a note of it right here. And, you know, as you can see, it's right here as well. YouTube and timers. 3 by 3 timers. 2% watch. Edit triggers. So I'm just making notes. Again, for myself, for anybody else that comes behind me to do work, that's just good practice. So now I'm just going to give you a quick overview for our, let me see. So I'm going to give you a quick overview for some of the other things you can add here, okay? So as you can see, Google Ads, LinkedIn Insights, Google Ads remarketing, Google Ads conversion tracking, floodlight counter. So, you know, you can incorporate so much stuff here. But another thing you can incorporate is Facebook. Now, this is the community template gallery, which, as you can see down here, this is provided by third parties. So you want to be a little careful, but generally speaking, if you do a little bit of due diligence, you should be safe. I can't guarantee that. I can just tell you that this is just, you know, the nature of the world. So here, this is really the jam for Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics. This Simo Ahava person that put this together. Now, right here, it tells you that it injects scripts. I mean, it does. So anything like that to help your website record more data and send it to Facebook. You can do these. You can use these same tags and send them to anything else with pixel data. And that's it for today. If you want higher conversion rates, if following these videos is a little too long and taxing, we've got a shortened version. This worksheet helps you get through it a lot faster. And you can join the Insider Circle newsletter. All we're about is helping e-commerce businesses grow. So we're going to be adding a lot of content. The Insider Circle newsletter is going to have a lot more content than you'll find on YouTube that we're offering. And we're really going to try and get into like the real meat of stuff. Our mission really is to grow e-commerce businesses and help people grow their businesses and afford them the freedom that working online can afford to people. So that's it for now, and I hope you have a great week. And let me know if you have any questions. If you want to get any more advanced on this stuff, you can always check our Learning Center. You can check the YouTube channel. You can join the Insider Circle. We've got probably next couple videos, I'm going to move on to some more e-commerce stuff since I feel like we've basically covered the basics. But if you want more, just hit me up and we'll with your specific questions, and we'll make some more materials for you. And I think that's it. Have a great week.